Good morning. It is April 8th, and I want to do a quick commentary on um, the 17th letter of the alphabet. And for people who are dismayed with the voting in of Brown as our first black, brown, female Supreme Court judge, and don't trust the plan and or that white hats are in control, I affirm that they are. I've learned, and it's a Buddhist approach, that things are not always as they seem. Things that you think are good turn out not to be. Things that you think are bad also turn out to not be bad. So you have to learn to suspend disbelief because the dust hasn't settled yet. We don't know what's going on in this fog of war. The players behind the scenes, the big key players involved in the true patriot movement, which is worldwide, white hats, 17th letter of the alphabet. It is a spiritual movement taking a political format, and the purpose of this great big chess game playing out is to allow people to learn what's really going on in not just government, but spiritual politics, which is really what's behind the political movements, and to become engaged in their own lives and not just bitch and moan, but start digging, as people have learned to do. So this has brought people together through the internet, so it really is an interlocking of communities from all around the world. People who want their countries back, nationalists. It's a beautiful thing. You know, when you used to visit a foreign country, you used to be able to eat their food. And in the last 20, 30 years of globalist takeover, you go to a foreign country and you eat McDonald's. That's not why I go to France. That's not why anyone goes to France or Italy, is to eat McDonald's. You want to savor the flavor of the genuine country's culture. And you know, despite the fact that many of us are multi-culti cultures, and it's wonderful to incorporate different flavors and ethnicities and beliefs and religions into our own country, you know, France has a right to remain France, and the U.S. has the right and should remain the U.S. It has a unique and distinct flavor. Every country does, and that's been violated by the globalist effort to unify and homogenize. And really, it's a communist effort to just flatten everything. No men, no women, no personalities, no freedom. Mandate freedom. No free choice, no religion, no freedom of religion. You know, that's what this country stands for, is freedom of choice, freedom of religion, integrity of body, mind, and soul, and that is what sovereignty means. But it also means that people have to get involved. So anyway, with Ketanji Brown being voted in, as you may know, the vote was 53 to 47 yes, and in fact there are 17 drops that reference this very specific number, not on April 7th, but that really is relevant, as we've come to learn that there's a cross blending of information. Something over here may indicate something down here, and of course you won't know that until something down here happens. You have to think expansively within this movement, and you have to keep an open mind. You know, it is subtle, it's discreet, it's intelligent, and the people who have been following this movement for a long time. I only came in about 3 years. I missed the first 2 years of it because it didn't interest me. I was into the Green movement at that time. That was a segue for me from the Democrat Party, which I exited in 2016, and the Green Party took my interest. And while some people tried to invite me in to the 17 movement, it wasn't the right time for me in 2017. But when it was the right time, and I started digging and looking, and then looking at Trump with new eyes, the pieces all started coming together. So it's all in the timing, and everyone comes to truth at different times and in different ways. But at any rate, I affirm that white hats are in control, and that if the intelligence drops that we received that referenced 53, 47, and so many other things that have come true in the future proves past. How does this work? I don't know. I don't need to know. I don't need to know how a car runs in order to drive one, right? I don't understand government. I'm not a government or a political expert. I'm a truth expert. And I use my own discernment. I trust my feelings. I trust my instincts. I allow myself to change my mind. And that's my biggest asset, really, is that I didn't get stuck in liberal thinking, even though I was rooted in it. And now, looking back, I realize how indoctrinated I was to believe very specific things about rednecks, about flag-waving gun-toters. I mean, that was always a turnoff for me as a New Yorker. That was never my thing. I understand it now. I understand what it stands for. And of course, the slant that we were given against, the anti-government far right, that term far right has been used for so long against people who just understand their constitutional rights. That doesn't make you far right. That makes you an American citizen. And the right to bear arms is your right to protect yourself, since there's not always a cop to protect you. And since this radical left movement has actually tried to make our society chaotic, and it's succeeded. There are homeless people all over New York. That's not new. There was a homeless man sleeping in my local TD Bank this morning. A few days ago, there was a young couple shooting up. Their stuff was all over the little anteroom where the machines are. But at any rate, when you look at 5347 and the specificity of it, what are the odds that that would apply very specifically to this very important nomination and, voting for this black-brown woman? We're in a meritocracy, and I used to understand quotas and all that too. I'm like, give them a leg up. They've been pushed down for so long, but now I understand how it's used against us, because your skin color, your race, your sex, your creed shouldn't matter. It's the quality of the human being and the gifts and talents that the unique individual brings to the table that matters, not what they look like. And that ultimately is discriminatory against the best candidate. You want the best candidates in important jobs and in the best schools and this and that. And yes, we want to help everyone along. We want better education. We want better opportunities. And that's what we as patriots are working for in this country. But when you understand that the Democrats actually fought against that, and that's why our schools are crap now. Our public schools are horrible because that was part of their plan. They say all the right things and, protecting feelings, the PC movement. You can't say anything anymore. I used to laugh at Archie Bunker, and now I feel like Archie Bunker because I have been discriminated against by hostile black people being in public school, and that's no more right than racism against blacks. So just time to rethink everything. All of us, no matter what our position. I know people who have lost faith in Trump. I know people who have lost faith in the 17 movement, and mine remains solid, steady. I don't understand all the ups and downs of the daily activities. That's not my job. The universe is big, and this is a universal, galactic, planetary. This planet is part of a bigger system, and we will find that out someday soon. Disclosure, it's all connected. And since things are so big, I focus on what I can comprehend and what does make me feel good. And that's really important, is to focus on what makes you feel good instead of the many people who are continuously, no matter how much I may believe with their overview beliefs for Trump, white hats, the 17 movement, if all you're focused on is things that make you grind your teeth and get you angry, you're of no use to the movement. You're still part of this energy of negativity, which actually feeds the dark. So it's important to learn how to become emotionally disciplined, and you can learn how to become emotionally disciplined by taming your emotions, and the way you do that is by taming your thoughts. They can be wild horses. You learn to tame them benevolently. Be gentle with yourself. Don't forget to breathe, go slow, and also give yourself credit for going through this time period as a seeker, a light worker, a patriot, a a digger. We're all trying to understand. We don't know everything on the human level. A part of us does. A part of us knows way more than the human mind does. So we tap into connecting with that by meditating, doing things that are good for your body, like exercise, sleep, naps, proper nutrition. Let your medicine be your food. Let your food be your medicine, is what Hippocrates said. And it's never truer now that we know about the dangers of big pharma and how they've been pushing their drugs to make us sicker and addicted to their product, which reaps them billions. So again, we're all receiving lots of information and lots of energies, galactic energies, physical energies, as the earth purges and heals. And remember, we are the vehicle of that healing, as each one of us tames our own demons, whatever your negativity is from the past, whatever personality imbalances you may have. Be gentle with yourself. Don't judge yourself. Don't judge others. You use judgment to discern what you need to keep away from yourself, but you don't have to hate what you don't want. And when you actively hate something, you actually keep it in your energy field. So I'm mentioning a lot of stuff because this is how I talk and how I integrate information, but the bottom line is do what helps you to survive in the most sane way. And if that means turning off the computer one day or turning off your phone or keeping it on, different things are going to work for you on different days. One day, something that works for you may not work for you the next. So learn to be fluid and listen to yourself, listen to your feelings, listen to your body, and have a great day.